Today we're going to be looking at some of the best things that you guys can do here in Modern Warfare Zombies to get yourself prepared for Season 1 Reloaded and Season 2 that's just around the corner. We're going to be going over some best ways to get acquisitions, some boss fights, Easter eggs, and all of that, and I'm going to be giving you guys exact locations and everything. So if you guys enjoy Zombies content or honestly anything Call of Duty, please do consider dropping the video a like and subscribing to the channel. We're on the road to 8,000 subscribers, and honestly, you guys mean the world to me. So what we're going to be looking at here is Modern Warfare ZombiesHub.gg, and this site is honestly absolutely amazing. It's going to show you all the locations that you need to know for almost anything in Modern Warfare Zombies, and big shout out to this Pezo for actually showing me this site. The man makes great Call of Duty content here on YouTube. Be sure to check him out. I'll also have a link to this website down in the description so you guys can go check it out. But one of the things that I cannot stress enough in this game mode, especially if you are a solo player that's going to help you out absolutely in leagues, is going to be getting yourself one of the Hellhound companions. Now what I'm about to put up on the screen is every single spawning location for these doghouses. Now all you guys need to do is whatever tier that you are in is how many chunks of flesh that you should be putting inside of the doghouses. At least that's what works for me. I have heard people say that if you put one chunk in, you get a tier 1 dog, 2 chunks is tier 2, 2 is tier 3. I don't know. For me, it seems like as long as I do it in tier 2, I get a tier 2 dog. If I do it in tier 3, I get a tier 3 dog. So these are going to be all the spawning locations that you can find these things. Going to be saving you guys some of those dog bones so you can keep a few of those things in your stash. Now let's talk about the guaranteed way to get you guys some ether tools, especially some legendary ether tools, epic ether tools. Now, I did make a video on this specifically before, but I didn't have all the exact spawning locations, and now I do, so I kind of want to show these to you. If you guys didn't know, when you shoot at these ether orbs, and once you shoot at them enough and you finally get them to explode, they're gonna drop you an ether tool. Now, if you're either in tier 2 or tier 3, they have a way higher chance of dropping you a higher rarity ether tool. And then, honestly, this is one of the best and most guaranteed ways for you guys to be farming these things, and here's all the locations for them. I do think they're missing one or two because I know that there is one that spawns like right over in F4. Now the orb that is hovering over in G4 might be the same one that is over in F4, but Now let's talk about the red worm fight, and this thing is honestly way easier than I think a lot of people try to make it out to be. I have done it solo myself. Now not solo as in there was nobody with me, but I didn't have anybody on my team. Now like I've said before, you don't actually have to be on a team in order to participate in the fight and still get the rewards. Completing the red worm Easter egg is going to get you some of the rarest things in the game, like the legendary ether tool schematic or possibly even the scorcher case. So as you guys can see on the map right here, there's going to be 3 locations on the map that you're going to need to go in and look and find out where the USBs are going to be spawning. You can also see them on the map here. Once you figure out the locations, you're going to have to go there, and they're going to look like the UAV towers. Just go ahead and activate them, and that's going to give you the USB stick. Collect all 4 of them, and that's going to get you ready to set this thing up. Go ahead and pull up your map and start looking around the outside of the ether storm, and if you notice 2 ammo crates right next to each other, that's where the boss fight's going to spawn. Once you get to the boss fight area, you're going to notice the reactors. Wait for the ether storm to come in. As soon as the ether storm covers it, insert the USBs, all 4 of them, and you should be good to go for the boss fight. Now, I would suggest that you guys get a team for this, or at least try to get a bunch of people in the lobby together to help you with the fight. Also, as a solo player, let's go over the best vehicle that you guys can get here in Modern Warfare Zombies, and I'm pretty sure you guys already know that's the Blood Burner bike. Well, here's all the locations that is known so far where this thing spawns. I do honestly think this map might be missing 1 or 2 because I think I've found this thing in a couple other areas, but here is a couple of spots that you guys can definitely check for this thing. Now, if you guys didn't know, this bike is almost impossible to damage. It runs over zombies without taking damage. It talks shit at you. It has an attack that just shreds things. This bike is honestly awesome. It drives on water. Now, one of the easiest ways that you guys can get yourself some really good gear like self-revives, backpacks, 3-plate vests, things like that is checking these caches that are in the ground. And there is honestly tons of these things all over the map, especially when you go into like tier 3 and tier 2, you're gonna have a higher chance of finding rare items, but they also have a huge chance of dropping like legendary weapons, epic weapons, and things like that. Not only are these things honestly just a great way to like gear yourself back up if maybe you died or something like that, but they are just a great way to find some really good loot and maybe get yourself like a legendary weapon that's going to be doing way more damage than what you probably already have. Now let's talk about killing the mega abominations here in Modern Warfare Zombies. Now doing this is actually way easier than some of you may think, and yeah, that even includes while they're being an HVT and they're a lot stronger. I think one of the most underutilized things in this game mode is going to be the turret circuit mods. Now those things can absolutely shred these mega abominations. You honestly can find them absolutely everywhere. They're just sitting on shelves or inside of crates. You can check for them inside of gas stations, things like that. Or you can also always use the Juggernaut. I have had a couple people say that the Juggernaut doesn't work for them and that they run out of time, but personally, I don't know, man. I think you might be shooting at other zombies and stuff because the Juggernaut, it always works for me. Killing these things is going to get you some of the best best acquisitions that you can find inside of the main map, besides doing the, you know, like the red worm, but you can find like legendary ether tools, refined crystals, ray gun plans, and stuff like that. Next thing I want to talk about is always checking the weapon lockers. Now there is a bunch of these things all over the map as well, but if you don't feel like clearing out strongholds and doing the whole keycard thing and going in to raid the mercs and stuff like that, this is also another great way that you can find 3-play vests and backpacks, self-revives, things like that. Well, you never know, I've had wonder weapons pop out of these things. And one of the last things that I want to talk about is something that I did mention in one of my previous videos, but I kind of wanted to reiterate it here. If you have some of the rarest schematics in the game, like I'm talking about like the legendary ether tool or the flawless crystal schematic, you guys should never be waiting on a cooldown timer. If you have slots that are open or stuff that you wouldn't mind just changing out for one of these things, you can constantly be building up legendary ether tools in your stash and also flawless crystals. As long as you craft them and then put them in your stash, they will not disappear. Now I have heard rumors of people that when they craft items and then take them in game and try to exfil with them, they disappear. I'm not 100% sure if that is fact, but if I were you, just be safe, and once you craft something, if you don't intend to use it, be sure to put it in your stash. At least for me, it's been safe. Now there is certain ways that you guys can go about overfilling your stash, but honestly I would kind of advise against doing this, just because I have a feeling that once we get season 1 reloaded or season 2, they're gonna kind of fix the stash situation, and I don't know what's gonna happen to all of your acquisitions. I honestly really hope that Treyarch just decides, hey, we need to up this stash a little bit, because honestly I kind of think 10 slots is just a little bit too little, especially when it comes to kind of newer players, because I mean, I know that there's a lot of people out there that are probably filling up their stash with things like perks and ether tools and wonder weapons and all sorts of stuff, and if they just want to gear themselves up for one really good game, they're going to be using almost half of their stash. So I honestly really do hope that the whole stash situation does get worked out, and hopefully they expand it by quite a bit. I mean, I would be happy with like 15 slots, but honestly I think they should aim even maybe just a little bit higher than that. And I know that fighting against some of these cooldown timers is just absolutely absurd. Like I think waiting for 3 days for something is a little bit much, but if you guys kind of do what I was talking about here, you'll have a bunch of those built up best things that you can craft anyways. You'll start to learn that things like perks and the first crystal and things like that just aren't really worth filling up your stash with these items that you can either get for free in your match or for extremely cheap. I would say honestly, like the main things that you guys should be worrying about filling up your stash with is legendary ether tools, maybe epic ether tools, classified acquisitions that you can get from the dark ether, like either the dog bone, ether blade, or honestly probably the most powerful acquisition in the game, the golden armor plate. Everything else is just really easily obtained during your match, and you really don't need to be wasting your stash for that. So that is going to be about it, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully this can get you a little bit more prepared for season 1 reloaded and season 2 that is just around the corner. I'm honestly very grateful to find this site and for these guys to throw up all this information. It's going to be helpful for me doing zombies, also helpful for me creating content, and hopefully it just helps me help you guys. So big shout out to MWZHUB.gg, and big shout out to the Speza for bringing this website to my attention. I honestly greatly appreciate all the support that you guys have been showing me lately. It honestly just blows my mind. If you guys enjoyed the video or if it helped you out at all, please do consider dropping it a like and rocking that subscribe button, man. So yeah, that is it, guys. I will catch you in the next one and for tomorrow's update with the Vortex mode. Later.